Hello,
And welcome
to the AniOddCast,
where we talk about the odd
amusing
and spectacular
world of
animation. Hello, and welcome back to the AniOddCast. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while.
Well, life happens, things happen, and sometimes we're just lazy.
You have been. You're the one.
I haven't been lazy, man. It's just I've had some stuff to do. All right, so would you like to introduce us?
Okay, welcome to the AniOddCast. We talk about animation movies.
That's right, we do.
And today's show is hosted by Jashan and a mysterious person who
Yeah.
may not be alive.
I may be dead. Oh my god,
Wait a minute.
someone's seen me to the hospital.
Am I seeing a dead person?
Maybe you are.
Is this the Day of the Dead?
Is it the Day of the Dead? Well, then you'd have to be dead to see me too, right? Or you'd have to be cursed.
Hey, but we could be in Mexico, right? It could be the Day of the Dead where you come to visit me.
Well, wait. So does this only happen in Mexico? I mean, can't my ancestors come and see me?
I guess
In New Zealand or in India or someplace where I'm from?
True, it can happen anywhere.
I mean, I'm sure, like, there's not a special place where dead Mexicans go and no other person can go.
Cemetery.
And they can't come. Maybe that particular ethnic group is allowed to come back because they make really good food.
Yes.
Because they, like, make good tacos. So they're like, here, angels, here are some tacos. And they're like, okay, you can go back home.
They make such good food that it even calls upon the dead people, like,
Yeah,
we have to go back.
I love Mexican food, and I think I sounded a little racist, but no, I just love Mexican food. I love tacos, I love burritos, and I love quesadillas, and I love guacamole.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's cool. Wait, so just in case you haven't figured it out yet, we will be talking about the film
Coco! Yes. Coco. So, Coco.
Yeah, so we're talking about Coco.
Yeah.
All right, so this movie was released in 2017.
Yep, I got the date. So it's released in New Zealand on the 26th of December.
26th of December.
But we must have watched it the first time at the start of 2018 because we actually watched it in cinemas.
Yeah.
I remember we were going to the cinemas and we were listening to the soundtrack before we actually watched the movie.
Oh yeah, because I was a big fan of Michael Giacchino, and I still don't know if I'm saying his name right or wrong. Well, anyway, we'll talk about this later. But because Michael Giacchino, I don't know, but
Yeah.
we'll just call him Michael for now. Michael G.
Guacamole.
He's Michael G. He's Michael Guacamole. So Michael Guacamole. Like, so he's written the music for a lot of the movies that I love the music of, so like Ratatouille, The Incredibles.
That's good.
So obviously,
I actually really love the soundtrack for Incredibles.
obviously, it's so great. It's so great. So that's why we listened to the music beforehand, because I really love his music. So anyway, carry on.
It was amazing watching it in cinemas the first time.
The visuals were so stunning.
It was, and I can't believe it's actually been that long. It's been 4 years since
It's 2022.
around about 4 years since we last watched it in cinemas.
Man, time flies, man. Time flies.
Which makes me sad, but it was.
So we're both 24 years older.
Wait, what? 24 years older?
Oh, not 24, like 4 years older.
Okay, it was directed by Lee. I can't say the last name. Lee Unkrich.
Yeah, that'll do.
And he directed also Toy Story 3. And he co-directed Monster Inc. and Finding Nemo. Mm-hmm. Those are all good movies. And it's co-directed by Adrian Molina, who even wrote some of the lyrics of the Coco songs.
Oh, really? That's really cool.
So like Un Poco Loco and Proud Corazon. He wrote some of it.
Yeah, so, Lee Unkrich, I hope that I said that right. But I probably didn't. I butcher all names. Yeah. But wasn't he also in charge of writing it? Wasn't it originally his idea?
Yeah, I think he is one of the writers as well.
Yeah. I remember. I have a quote somewhere by him that he felt. Oh, I'll just read it out. Okay, so blah 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 reflected the fact that none of us at the time were from Mexico. The fact that the film depicted a real culture, that's in quotation marks, caused anxiety for Unkrich, who felt an enormous responsibility on his shoulders to do it right.
That's true because it's a whole culture showing.
You're representing a culture, and as soon as you do like one small thing wrong, where I don't know, it's like there's a ritual that you're trying to animate, and like you get the steps wrong, or it's like the wrong color item, then people will just go crazy.
Yeah.
Or like if you like somehow manage to, I don't know, get their attention of, I don't know, the people looking out for cultural appropriation, and they go nuts for this kind of stuff.
Or like even like other people, they just be like disappointed, like, oh, that's not part of my culture. Like it's a good movie, but that's not really accurate. But I think this movie was released first in Mexico.
It was. And I have a fun fact about this.
Yeah.
So the movie was released in 2017, and so whenever the movies are released, right, there's a box office, and then you have the highest grossing movies. How highly do you think it rated? Was it the highest grossing film, the 10th highest grossing film of the year? And just for some context, let me share with you some movies that were released that year. Thor Ragnarok, which I loved. It was such a great movie. Spider-Man Homecoming, which I haven't seen. Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I've only seen the first one.
Yeah.
And The Greatest Showman. Just to name a few. And So how highly do you think, how much money did it earn?
In Mexico.
In Mexico.
I'm pretty sure it would have been the biggest hit of the year in Mexico because it was the only film that represented the whole culture. It was so specifically for Mexicans. And so I bet all families would like go and watch it.
Okay, well, drum roll please. Coco was the highest grossing film in Mexico in 2017.
I believe so.
It's an animated movie, and people in Mexico love the movie because, quite frankly, they did a fabulous job with it. I mean, it represents the culture so beautifully. It doesn't say anything bad about it. It's just what it is, and it's represented very beautifully. And I don't see why any Mexican would dislike it.
And I guess no wonder it has won so many awards, including Best Animation Movie, a lot of awards, and even Best Song for Remember Me.
Remember Me, that's right. It's such a fabulous song. That song, the very last time that song plays in the movie, it makes me cry every single freaking time. I think when Miguel is singing to Coco, that's it.
And then Coco sings along as well.
When Coco starts singing, that's
are we going to do a non-spoiler section first?
Blah, 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 blah. Well, it's kind of non-spoiler.
Okay, non-spoiler. So it's about Miguel who wants to be a musician, but his family is against it for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, so we find out why on the Day of the Dead.
That's right. Well, yeah, so this is a story about... Wait, what would we say this is a story about? It's really it's a story centered around the Day of the Dead, where a kid who loves music isn't allowed to play music, and he kind of ends up going on a journey to figure out why they don't like music, and he goes on to discover the value of family and respecting his culture. But yeah, he learns the value of family.
Yeah, and he sort of brings the family together because how music was one thing that sort of separated the family. And he resolves it.
So Miguel gets a curse on the Day of the Dead because he tried to steal a guitar because his grandmother broke his guitar, and so he steals a dead person's guitar who is his grandfather, quotation marks, and then he gets cursed for stealing a dead man's guitar, and he ends up he turns into a dead person, and then he travels to the land of the dead,
and then he tries to find a way to come back.
Yeah, he has to go get away. Yeah, that's basically the story. He meets his other family, his ancestors, and learns a lot more about them, and he plays more music, and yeah.
There's amazing songs in the movie. It's a really sweet movie. You should definitely watch it if you haven't already.
Yeah, I agree. And just while we're on this, we're not on the subject, but here we go. I have a question for you.
Oh, are we in the spoiler section now?
Well... No, this isn't a spoiler. Okay. This is just a fun question for you, the audience, to answer for me because I think it would be really funny. So Miguel is played by Antonio Gonzalez.
Yes.
Right? But Miguel was originally set to be played by a child named Emilio Fuentes. I'm sorry if I butchered the last name, as per usual. The question is, why was he changed?
why was he? Could
Yeah.
it actually? I had this thought. Could it be that his voice changed? He got older and he couldn't play he didn't have a voice of a child anymore, because you know how these films take a long time to make.
Yeah.
Could it be that his voice changed and it didn't suit the role of a child anymore?
Well, okay, so I'm just going to give the audience some time to think about it. So you have 5 seconds to lock in whatever answer that you have. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're right.
Oh my
His
God.
voice changed. So they had to replace him.
Oh,
which
geez.
would suck for this man. Imagine if Emilio, this was his first big like Pixar movie, animated movie, and then his voice deepens.
But the thing
That would be
is,
so depressing.
there are techniques to make your voice like higher, isn't there?
Yeah, sure, but then it's not the same as like a child
the
speaking.
No, it can be.
You're like this, but it doesn't sound like a child.
I think it can. I think it can.
I think-
but maybe the texture, like it's not.
It's just not the same.
It's not what
It's
they
just not the
exactly
same.
wanted.
It's not the same.
But that's so sad. If I was that kid, if I was gonna play Miguel and I just that my voice deepened, I'd be so. I would cry.
Oh, that
I would
would
cry.
be that's like, I don't know, going to the Olympics for, I don't know, swimming, and then like all of a sudden the day before the competition you become allergic to water for some reason.
As I watched the movie, I would cry for two reasons. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. And, oh, I couldn't be a part of it.
Yeah, that would be so depressing because it was such a great movie. Well, so anyway, one more. Okay, here's another question for you.
Okay.
When is the Day of the Dead?
It's in November the 2nd. 2nd November.
That's right. It's the 2nd of November.
I searched this up.
You searched this up. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on. So we've given the non-spoiler gist. So if you've not seen the movie, go away, go watch the movie, come back, and then listen to the rest.
Yep. Now we can talk about anything we want.
Oh man,
What?
no, who got murdered? Oh my God, his great grandfather got murdered.
Oh
People, that's so sad.
Ernesto really seized everything from
He
Hector.
seized his moment, man.
He seized Hector's songs, guitar, and even his life.
Oh wow, he seized it all.
And
But at least he died with a bell both times. A giant freaking bell just falls on his head and he dies.
deserved it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing that Miguel ended up going to the world of the dead, because he cleared that misunderstanding between Imelda and Hector.
Yeah.
Because
And then he was able to be remembered, of course.
yeah, and because Imelda, the great grandmother, really held on to her hate because because Hector went away because of music and never came back. That was true. And the tough part for Hector was he didn't know what actually happened. He was planning to come back, so he just assumed
But
that
then he thought he died of food poisoning.
And Imelda, and he probably told Imelda a few times, and
yeah.
Imelda's like, "I don't believe you. If you could come back and food poisoning, I don't believe you.
Yeah, you were probably doing drugs and partying, and then you died of overdosing or something.
Like, I don't believe you were coming back. So that's probably what happened.
Well, and it's like, no matter what reason it was, she was still left alone. So she just had that anger, how she had to take care of her children, well, her child, and then like you have to like take care of everything as a woman. Like, in, I don't know what era it was, like what year it was in, and how difficult it may have been.
She had to handle the business, make the business, and the children. So difficult.
I know, but at least everything was resolved at the end, and that's what matters.
Yeah. I found this movie really sweet, but really sad at times. Like during Hector's death, Coco slowly losing her memory.
Ah, yes.
So yeah, and even they talk about the second death in the movie.
Oh, the second death is being forgotten. So that's interesting though. So what is the actual death? Is it physically disintegrating, turning into dust, or is it being forgotten? Like when, let's say, do you fear death? That's my question for you. Do you fear dying? So if you just died tomorrow, if someone said you're gonna die in 2 days, would you be afraid?
Yes, I think everybody would.
Okay, why would you be afraid?
I guess you would have less time to do things you like.
Oh, less time to do things you like. But okay, fine. Say you someone says you're gonna die in 20 years, and in that time you can do everything you want to do. Would you still be afraid?
No, I'd be like, oh, that's 20 years is far away. I have a lot of time.
Yeah, I guess so. But when that time draws near, would you
Oh
fear?
yes, again. When you know it's coming, you be like, again, like the last year, you be like, oh, it's coming. It's coming.
So you'd be afraid because you'd be like, I can't do more things. I can't do all the things I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's interesting.
Or I can't just continue living. Even if I already did the things I want to do, I want to keep doing it again and again.
You want to keep doing it again? Okay.
What about you? Wouldn't you fear it?
Yeah, I mean, I would, but I'm mostly afraid of like just being forgotten, or like I'm afraid of like not existing
At all, and not in memories either.
Yeah. Because that's really scary. It's like when you die, you're like, you don't feel stuff, but the thought that you'll be like gone forever and you'll be leaving people behind, and then people will forget you, and then eventually it'll be like you never existed. And then that's the second death, right? Like after enough time passes, then everybody who knew you has forgotten you, and your great grandchildren don't remember you.
I guess that's why like a lot of people believe in sort of afterlife. You know how like everybody joins together, everybody who passes to the other side can come together again.
Yeah.
So you have all the people who know you there.
Yeah, that's
I think a lot of people believe in that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, because the fear of just being completely nothing is like very scary.
Yeah, and it also depends on the person, man. Like, some people that brings them comfort, where they think,
why?
No. So it brings them comfort to know that they'll continue existing, and they'll meet people who have passed.
Oh yeah,
and go to heaven or something like that. And for some people, that's like scary, like the thought of existing forever. Like mom, she just wants to disappear.
No,
and not exist.
No, she wants to become one with everything.
Well, I know, but that's another way of saying just like turn into dust and like not exist.
No, I think she has a few thoughts. Like that's one of it, and then also another is joining the gods realm, something like that. Like
we'll have to have a discussion about this with her.
I think she has three different thoughts.
2-3 different thoughts.
Yeah, so have to figure out which one she believes in more.
Yeah. But let's just say that at the very least, it's not an afterlife that she believes in, where she's still thinking and feeling and like interacting with other human beings.
No, I don't think
like
that.
So
no.
let's just do that, right? We know that for now, and that brings some people comfort, and some people find that really, really scary. So it's really interesting to see different people's perspective on it. And then I suppose that's another way to think about the two deaths, being forgotten and actually dying, because those are two separate perspectives on death, right? Like, I don't know, for people who want to go to heaven, like dying is fine, but it's like being forgotten is bad. Or wait, I don't know. Let's just.
I remember we watched this movie and my mom felt really sad about that. Like, oh my god, like there's a second death where
and we have to remember people because they still exist, and oh my god, and stuff.
I
like
guess
that.
she just felt the pressure and felt sadness, like who have we forgotten, and who has like passed away and everything. It's like all coming on top. You like maybe they're waiting for us to remember them.
Yeah, so that's definitely a depressing thing to think about.
We need to go to the. But we don't even have gravestones or cemeteries in our culture.
Oh yeah, that's very true. That's very true. And that's I find that I don't know. I'd prefer like just someone planting a tree like over where I'm buried.
Oh yeah,
that's the optimal death for me.
Oh yeah, so you can go somewhere to remember them, and it's not really bad for the environment.
Yeah, but then it's good for us to be remembered. But at the same time, when you remember people, does that just bring you more pain? Like, would it be easier just to forget people who die, or would you want to keep remembering them?
It depends on what you remember. It depends on the person. Like you could remember the good stuff, but you could also be a person that just becomes sad by that, and some people could just be happy by that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, well, moving on. So here's a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a question. Which action movie, like I'm talking about like thriller, like shooting, full-on action movie inspired Coco, and in which way?
What? An action movie inspired Coco?
Yeah, like a shooting one.
How is that anything related? Oh, wait. Could it be like... I just remember the part where, Miguel was playing guitar in the plaza. He borrowed someone's guitar, and his grandmother walked in like a gangster and like grabbed her sandal and like attacked all the other people. Like, how dare you?
Oh, yeah.
How
Like a weapon, yes.
How dare you pollute my
Well, that's interesting, but that's not it. I mean, that might have been inspired by some movie, like the spinning of her jandal and stuff. But it was the lighting of the Land of the Dead was inspired by the movie John Wick.
What?
Yeah, John Wick has like amazing visuals. Like the lighting's so cool.
Yeah.
And the lighting of the Land of the Dead was inspired by John Wick.
The lighting of the Land,
like the color palette, like the colors.
I don't even know, but the Land of the Dead so colorful, and John Wick.
You know what? No. Yeah, have you seen John Wick?
Of course I have. It's the John Wick is like just like one color bluish, isn't it? So bluish.
But we'll just hold on. I'll just look up some images. Right, like look at these colors. Look at that color.
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh yes.
It's very like a Neo kind of thing. No pun intended. No Matrix pun intended.
Neo
yeah, it's like very like neon lights and very. I don't know what you would call it, like reds and yellows and pinkish hues over there.
That's so.
Yeah, I know. So it's fascinating, isn't it?
How these.
Yeah, like look at this. Look at this.
Yes, the colors.
It definitely works.
It's amazing how such opposite genres like they got.
Yeah, where they got inspired from.
I got the lighting, like something. Very
yeah,
specific.
the colors is what it was inspired by. But that's very cool. Oh. I have here's another question for you.
Yeah.
What is Dante's breed? So Dante the dog in the movie.
I actually watched a making of video of this many years ago.
Uh-huh.
There was a real life dog that was that they based Dante off. I can't remember. The dog does look like Dante. I forgot.
Oh wait. Okay, do you know the woman who inspired Coco? Okay, you're gonna go crazy. Okay,
yeah?
So everybody, I want you to stop what you're doing and look this up. So the woman whose appearance inspired Coco, Mama Coco, it's really long. Her name is Maria de la Salud Ramirez Cabulera. You know what? Just search up Mama Coco and Salud. Salud. I think that may come up. Okay, here we go. Look at her. She looks like Coco.
Oh wow!
Look at her.
She does.
She looks exactly like Coco.
Oh, and Coco's character was like the sweetest. Like
yeah. So her appearance, I don't know about personality, but her appearance is that of Mama Coco. So everybody, once again, so just type into Google Mama Coco Salud and Salud.
Oh yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah, she does look quite similar. You know, I love the scene with Coco and Grandma Coco and Miguel at the beginning. Uh-huh. You know when Miguel's sharing everything about him. Oh, before I used to run like this, and now I run like this. And I have Dimple on one side. Dimple. And Grandma's just smiling at him and like participating in all activities, like wearing the mask and everything.
Yeah.
So the Grandma and Miguel always do like these fun activities together.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was very sweet. But back to Dante's breed.
Yeah.
So Dante is actually a Zolo dog, and Zolo dogs actually have a history in ancient West Mexico. So there are some sculptures that exist of hairless breeds of dogs that were found in burial sites in ancient West Mexico. Uh-huh. And funnily enough, in ancient times, Zolos were often sacrificed and buried with their owners to act as guides to the soul.
Oh,
so they would guide them on their journey to the underworld. You can find them in like burial grounds in both Maya and Toltec.
Oh wow! So they were seen as like guardians.
Yeah, kind of. But that's a little bit different. So what you're talking about is the spirit animals, right?
Yeah.
Like the alibrejes. How's that how you say it? Alibrejes. Okay, that's something like that. But those are actually a 20th century invention, so they don't go back as long. But alibrejes date back to the 1930s when there was a paper mache crafter. His name was Pedro Linares Lopez. And he had a nightmare one night. And in this nightmare, there were really colorful mythical creatures that followed him in a forest somewhere. And they were all chanting the word alibrejes.
Alibrejes.
That's spirit animals, right? That's what they're called. And that's what he called them. And anyway, So he didn't know if these creatures were friendly or if they were threatening, but he chanted them. These chants, they woke him up, and then he recreated these creatures with paper mache. And since then, they've been used as decorations on the Day of the Dead in Mexico.
So it was an artist who thought of them, who dreamt them.
Yeah. But then, if we think about in ancient times, Zolo dogs were sacrificed and they would act as guides. Then that's kind of in the same vein. So maybe he I don't know, thought about this one day, and then when he slept, his brain put that together and created this wacky idea of spirit animals.
That's interesting. And is it like widely accepted? Like oh, they must
no. It's not. So Mexicans don't believe in that. At least as far as I know from my research, they don't believe in this. It's just they use it as decoration.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so unfortunately for our viewers, or maybe fortunately, we don't have much time left because I have to be somewhere.
Yes, I'm sorry. We could have talked a bit more.
Yeah. So would you like to say some fun things?
Oh, actually, I'll tell you something fun happened to me.
Oh?
I went to the mall the other day, and I passed this craft shop, and on the bag, I saw a person in the movie. It was you know the character who was organizing the concert, all the performances, and she had like a very eccentric,
the monobrow woman.
Yeah, the eccentric
monobrow woman. Yeah,
her name was, I think, Frida Kahlo, and I saw a real life picture of her on a bag, and I recognized her instantly. That's the woman.
Oh, really?
Wait,
what was it? Frida
Kahlo. K-A-H-L-O. So I think she was famous for making...
Oh, I see her now.
She was making... I think she painted a lot of self-portraits. Yeah. And she had a lot of hidden meanings in her pictures and everything.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah,
I heard...
It's, this wacky one with 3 eyes.
Yes, I heard...
Oh my god.
I heard she actually wanted to go to medical school. But I think she got some sort of illness. I think polio.
Oh no!
And then she decided to do art. And I think she's a very famous artist in Mexico.
Is she? Yeah. That's fascinating. So people look up her art. So you can spell this. It's Frida, Frida, last name Kahlo, Kahlo. And just see the art and see if you can find the one with her monobrow, and then there's just this guy on her forehead with 3 eyes, and it's kind of weird. And you may, I don't know, find it entertaining in some way, but look it up. It's interesting. And she does look like the animated character.
Yes. I was pretty excited. Oh, I know this person now from Coco.
Yeah. Okay, well that's very interesting. And
a fun fact. At the ending credits, they show pictures of people who inspired the movie. Oh, you know how they show on the ofrendas the pictures, just like that. They had real life pictures, who inspired. Yeah.
Okay, so here's I gotta leave. So I'm gonna give you 2 more fun facts. I'm gonna give you a fun fact, and I'm gonna give you 1 question.
Okay.
And then we'll end it. So this is for the viewers and for you.
Yeah.
So viewers, here's this question. So the animation team ran into one major difficulty in animating this movie, and what do you think that difficulty was?
Oh, I actually have an idea.
Did you read about it, or do you have an idea?
I read something that it took...
Wait, no. So, viewers, have you thought about it? We'll give you 5 more seconds before we start talking.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so what?
So I read a news article that one of the scene, when Miguel was on the bridge and first sees the land of the dead.
Yeah.
That scene.
Oh yeah, that was also one.
That scene. They said it took so many animators to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I read they have so many rose petals, and it's a bridge, but then it also has to act like rose petals, like it's like moving and it's kind of alive.
Not just the bridge, the whole land of the dead. It shows from Miguel's view. And I don't know. I read maybe it took 500 or 1,000 animators.
Wow.
I don't know, a ridiculous number of animators to do it all. And it was amazing.
Well, yeah, definitely. That would take a very long time. And yes, indeed, that was one of the animation things. But there was another one, and that was that they were animating skeletons.
Oh.
And they had to give life and charm and expression to skeletons.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's very true.
So here's a quote. Okay, so we had to figure out how to give them personality without skin, muscles, noses, or even lips, says character art designer Danielle. Should I just skip? Okay, you read the name.
Danielle Arriaga.
Arriaga, that's right. So anyway, quote, we played with shapes and did a lot of paintings, and we sculpted and studied skulls from every angle to figure out where we could add appeal and charm. When you think about it, that would be very difficult to figure out how to make skulls and skeletons have a personality and expressions.
Because they're definitely trying to find a balance between looking realistic and sort of funny. And sort of expressive.
Yeah, I know.
Same time.
Okay, it's speaking of one of this real versus like character and expression.
Yeah,
freaking Lion King. The remake, with the you remember, right?
Oh,
and they just made them look like lions, and there was just no expression. There was just no passion, man.
It was very hard to see the expression.
Yeah, and you couldn't even tell them apart, man.
Yeah, but there were YouTube clips of people redoing the animation to make them look a bit more expressive.
Yeah,
and. Yeah, I think they were leaning too realistic.
They went far too realistic.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sad because it had so much potential to be great, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you let Pixar... Wait, did Pixar make... let me look it up. Who were the makers? Lion... I don't think Pixar would have made it.
No, I think it was just Disney.
I don't think... Because it doesn't seem like Pixar's style.
I don't think Pixar makes live action.
No, this isn't live action. But this is like... Yeah, okay, so this was... made by Walt Disney. Yeah, definitely not a Pixar thing, because with Pixar you definitely have that emotion and expression. I'd love to have seen the new Lion King, the 3D animated one, be made by Pixar.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that
it
was so realistic.
At least we have the original Lion King.
Yeah,
that'll never change. And if they do decide to remake it, I hope Pixar is involved, or they take inspiration from some of the people on YouTube making more cuter versions.
Yeah.
And less like natural geography.
But yeah, Lion King will always be a classic movie.
And we may talk about it one day. Yeah. But anyway, so that's all for today, viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have been a mysterious dead person, i.e. a zombie. Oh, and you have been a...
Jashan. I have been a Jashan.
He has been a Jashan throughout this entire show and in the previous shows, and he will continue to be a Jashan.
And he will continue to be a mysterious person.
Alrighty, thank you so much for tuning in, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.